Welcome to Christian Fitness. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for letting us come into your home. Today we've got another awesome show.
Special treat for you.
It is.
We are going to demonstrate, well, we aren't. She is going to demonstrate the inchworm.
Diana is going to do it.
Inchworm exercise. Do you have any idea what that is?
Inchworm.
Stay tuned. You're going to find out. But we're doing an inchworm today. And our very special guests joining us today, Micah and Diana. And what a pleasure it is to have you guys on with us. Just being able to talk with you guys is such an inspiration to us as another couple that really cares about, impacting people and touching people's lives. So, man, just amazing to have you guys on.
Well, you guys are a huge inspiration to us, too. Thank you for all you do.
So who are they? Here you go. Here's a quick little biography / their resume. But here you go. Pretty impressive. Of course, they are both former world champions. I don't even like saying former. I like to say
you are world champions.
They're world
You're
champions.
world champions now.
In the fitness world, transformational coaches, fitness entrepreneurs, motivational speakers, published authors. They've been featured on Amazon Prime, Access. Mostly they've been on magazine covers. You name it, they've done it in the fitness world, and just amazing. And they've got two businesses. One is HitchFit. So go to their websites. Please visit their websites. One is hitchfit.com. And basically there's a lot of before and afters on there, some of the transformations, amazing transformations that people have gone. And I pulled something from the website, but I think I'm a little outdated. It says that it was over 500,000 pounds. It's over 700,000 now. So
that's a lot.
I needed to update
pounds.
that on my graphic, but look at this. This is from hitchfit.com, and this is their online personal training. So, guys, tell us a little bit, how does it work if somebody wanted to go on HitchFit and said, hey, you know what, I want to get healthier?
Yes, we've had HitchFit for the last 15 years. We've been helping people globally, take charge of their health and fitness. And if you go to the website, like you said, you can see so many stories of so many different people, all different walks of life. We've just taught them healthy eating habits, healthy exercise habits, so that they can start building these habits into their life. And that in turn changes how our bodies look, it changes how we feel, it changes how our brains function. It has this impact. A lot of times people see the before and afters and they're like, whoa, that's what I want. We always say that's just kind of the icing on the cake for everything else that happens on the inside and the positive ripple effects that it has on their lives.
I like that, the icing on the cake, because it's the inside that you guys really, and we'll get into that a little bit more. But there's so much to cover. We're actually doing multiple shows. So if you have seen our other show with them, or haven't, go back and watch that again. But anyway, did a couple shows with them, because we'd probably do a week's worth of shows. But anyway, make sure that you see all the episodes, because they share some amazing things. You guys have another business. It is a retreat. Tell us a little bit about that.
Oh, so we've infused faith and fitness with SoulFit. Ultimately, we bring people around to amazing locations around the world, and we create safe environments for them. Some of these people are opening up maybe for the first time with their testimonies or trauma or whatnot. We have amazing mentors that are in place, and it's just amazing to see what God does in helping heal or push someone past their boundaries to a place of them essentially becoming who they were created to be. And we get to kind of sit back and just watch this beauty kind of unfold in an awesome location, working out and eating and having fun and just watching the Lord do what he does.
That's amazing. Awesome. So how long are these retreats?
Yeah, the majority of them are 5 days, 4 nights, and we do Mexico retreats on the beach, but we also do adventure trips. And, we call them fitness, but we have people of all different fitness levels that come. We have people really that just are looking for community, and just maybe they're looking for some motivation to make healthier lifestyle. They're just looking for people to come around and encourage them and empower them to make some healthy choices in both their faith and their fitness. So it's been a lot of fun, and we're just like, Lord, wherever you want this to go, like we're in for it. So.
And this is once a year?
Right now we're doing 2 a year. Right now we're just doing our Mexico and our adventure trips, but we're kind of just like, we're leaning into the Lord, and whatever he shows us, however he wants it to evolve for us is what it'll be. So.
Do you guys have a basket or anything that you make them put their electronics in when they show up? Or you
Yeah, I mean, we have a photographer and a
right?
videographer, so a lot of the time, he's kind of just following us around and being able to document the entire trip. We encourage people to just, really open themselves to everything, because you get so much in return if you do. And like she said, lifelong friends and people that are not there judging. It literally is like we're pulling people in and then just lifting them as high as possible and pouring
that's
into
awesome.
them.
That's so awesome.
So anyway, visit both their websites, hitchfit.com and then Soul
Fit Retreats.
Fit Retreats.
Yeah.
I'm having trouble saying that today. Soul Fit Retreats. Visit both their websites. We do want to start with the devotional, though, and I've asked both of them to share some scriptures with us. And Diana shared 2 scriptures. Actually, she's got a life verse that she had, and then, of course, we all have, verses that are just impactful right now at this time in our lives. So she shared these 2 verses with us, and the first one is from Jeremiah. Jeremiah 29:11, for I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you, not to harm you, plans to give you a hope and a future. That's what we were just talking about with the retreats, building up that hope and future in these people.
Yes, I call that my life verse because it's the one, it just probably for at least the last 30 years of my life, I would say that that's the one that the Lord speaks to my heart. And anytime I'm going through a season of challenge, those seasons that are the hard times that you're like, Lord, what are you where are you taking me? Like, what's going on here? And that's the one he always speaks to me. It's just like, I'm here, like there is a hope for you, there is a future for you, and he knows the plan. And so for me, it's like being able to just rest in knowing he knows the plan. And so I can relax, and as long as I'm obedient and stepping into where he tells me to step, that he's gonna take me where I'm supposed to go.
I love that. It puts you in an expectation of what is God doing, because he's always doing something. He's doing things and he's speaking always. But when you look at that scripture, we always say, go back, read the entire chapter, read all of it, because when you go back, it talks about what God was talking about, what he was leading these people to. He led them into exile for a purpose. Yep. And he has a purpose and a plan for all of us. And that scripture puts us in an expectation always about what is God doing and where is he leading me at this moment. And I love that because his plan is, he sees you finished, not where you are. So I love that. I love that scripture that you pulled out just for that.
And he knows the future. So just to depend on him, that's what you have to do. You have to surrender, Lord, I'm just going to take the steps. Just speak to me. Okay, so that's kind of the life verse for the last 30 years. And then you shared another one with us that's kind of your current verse, and that is Psalm 84:7. They go from strength to strength till each appears before God in Zion.
I love that one. And we are just really in this season, just even especially the last few years of, the Lord just keeps, he's taking us through things that just keep making us stronger. And every time we are like, okay, I feel like God's made me a little stronger, he's like, and now this. And we really have been in this for the last few years of like, okay, we're there. And he's like, nope, now you're strong enough for the next thing. And so it's really just from strength to strength. And we get stronger and stronger as he continues to take us through challenges. And he is preparing us. Every time we go through something, he's preparing us for the next thing. And the other piece of that, when I think of strength to strength, is kind of ties into our physical and our spiritual and mental fitness too, because I think of how these things impact each other. So it's like from your physical strength to your spiritual strength. I also see it as just this body, mind, spirit thing of like strength to strength to strength.
Wonderful.
I love that. I was looking at the Passion Translation, and because we love the Passion Translation, we love Dr. Bryant, but it talks about before that he gives them a brook of blessings and a rain of an outpouring, and they grow stronger and stronger in every step forward, and the God of all gods will appear before Zion. I like that because we are a spring, we're a wellspring of life, a wellspring of the Holy Spirit, of who God puts in us, and that going from strength to strength, from glory to glory, whatever it is that you're going through, God right now is saying, this is who you are, and I'm going to strengthen you in that so that you can go on to the next thing.
I like that, brook
that.
of blessings.
Yeah,
I like that. I
blessings.
think a brook is like a
wellspring of
natural
life.
stream,
Yes.
a new water, a new stream, and it's a blessing for that. So, man, that is awesome. All right, well, she touched on a little bit about the nutrition and the mind and the body and the spirit. So we always ask questions, to our guests at Christian Fitness. So I asked them both several questions, which we're going to get to the inchworm in a little while, but that's not this question. This question, that is not a nutrition question. The nutrition questions were for Micah. And as busy as they are, we were concerned, you guys, you don't just address the physical. We're not just going to go work out for 2 hours a day and then go eat hamburgers all night long. So there's a nutritional aspect to being healthier mentally and physically. So I asked Micah, and here's a couple of things that he said. He actually gave us 3 to work off of. The first one is to build a schedule that leads to a healthy lifestyle. How do we do that? How do we build that schedule?
Well, I think look at your daily schedule and everything that you're doing. One thing that is neglected often is the food that we're eating. We just go and eat when we want to, a lot of times whatever it is that we want to eat or whatever is convenient. Where if we're preparing in advance and building a schedule based around that, your body's going to start telling you when to eat, but it's also going to be yearning for positive, healthy foods. And so it's then creating this new schedule that you're doing, and this applies to everything in life, not just, your nutrition, but building this schedule that's based around what I call non-negotiables. Okay, so I take periods of time out of the day to make sure that my food is prepped, right? And that is in place because that makes me feel good. I never wake up the next day feeling, I wake up like at really early in the morning and I'm like ready to go. I'm like, thank you, Lord, I got another opportunity. Let's go, chicken breasted, And so, and I really am that way. It just gives me a lot of joy. But
Love that.
I also love when people also start living that lifestyle and I start seeing the changes over and over. And it all comes down to a couple things, but that schedule and that structure is so big because we're all busy. And we can all make the excuses of being busy, and then it's going in and going, okay, I need to make this a priority so that I can be my best self for everyone else.
So do you recommend a diary when somebody starts? Because I was thinking about that. We were talking about time and how you have to make time, and you get up he gets up at 3:30 in the morning. Anyway, so in that, it's discipline, it's self-control. And a lot of people will go, well, I don't have time. So they go to the convenient fast food, which is not even food. It might be fast, and it's actually not when you go through a drive-through anymore. So, I mean, if you think about it, so you're getting no benefits at all. There's really not anything there. So when you start with somebody that way, do you start a diary? Notice what you're doing that we can help fix, and then have the goals. How do you do that? How do you get people
You got to keep some level of accountability.
Right.
Like you have to, but a lot of that takes just reflection of what it is that I'm doing every single day. Because you're not even you're not even in this conscious state of understanding what you're actually eating. Right. And then once you start writing that down, and then you're like, no wonder I feel this way.
Yeah.
No wonder I've gained 20 pounds this year. You compound that with stress and chronic fatigue and everything else that goes on. Like, we can only control so much, but if we're controlling what we're putting in our bodies and the activity that we're doing, we can be our optimal self.
Well, I like that. Yeah, we can only control so much. That's powerful.
It's like when you go to the movies, we maybe see a movie once a year, but then you go there and they've got this whole counter of chemicals. And it's like, please take those. And then you see people sit down, they're not even thinking about it. So it's like training them, think about what you're putting in your mouth. Is there any value to it? They hear that from us too, but it's how do you get someone to change the mindset of eat what God made?
Well, let's go to the second one, because I think the second one addresses this a little bit. And this is one of Micah's healthy living tips for today. It's discipline is the true path to freedom. Many people connect discipline to something negative. They hear that, that's true. They think of discipline as, I was disciplined as a child or by a teacher, or it's a negative connotation, but you're twisting that to the positive.
Well, there is, discipline is, in my opinion, one of the things that can align you even tighter to the Lord. And what I mean by that is the decisions that we're making every single day are our choices, and they're going to have consequences or they're going to have a positive result. When you start breaking down to every single choice that you're making and thinking of it like that and going, does the Lord want me to do this? And we fall all the time, right? We fall short all the time, but the more discipline that we get within ourselves, the more disciplined we can be for Him. And in my opinion, when we are our top self, we then can fulfill God's, a purpose for us on an even higher level, where nothing is becoming a distraction to us and what the Lord needs us to do.
I've got one to add to that too, is like God says that the spirit He's given us is one of power and love and self-discipline. So He gave us the spirit of self-discipline. So I know that people don't like to hear this so much, but if we're operating in a spirit that is not disciplined, then we're not operating in the spirit that He gave us.
You know what I love about you guys? You guys are precious, by the way, but it's the fact that it's not all about the physical side of
Right.
it. You're more
I love
concerned, and I
that.
love earlier you mentioned when you see people do this or get this breakthrough, it's about pouring that out to others, about passing what you guys have learned and trained for, passing on to others, but it's more about the spiritual and getting the mind right and renewing those things than it is, I want to go out and have 28-inch biceps. So, anyway. No, I love that you guys are so focused on that. His last one, here we go. The last nutrition tip for today: working out and eating right benefits the physical body, but also your mental state and spiritual walk. That kind of sums it all up. That's good.
I mean, they're all connected, and when you can align all those three things together with your nutrition, your working out, and your spiritual, we always talk the wrecking balls are fitness and faith, and when those two things are properly aligned, what's sad to me is most people don't even know what it feels like to wake up healthy. They have no idea what that actually feels like, and I wake up every day trying to either brainwash them, convince them, whatever it takes to get that feeling. Because once they have that feeling, they never want to let it go. And they go, why didn't I do this sooner? Like, I feel so amazing. I'm a better parent. I'm closer to the Lord. I can hear him. I'm a better friend. I'm a better leader. I'm a better everything, because you're not in bondage of all those things that are holding you back now.
Right. You call them wrecking balls.
Wrecking balls.
Wrecking
That's
balls.
Ergo.
Is that
yes.
Faith and fitness are our wrecking ball tools for breakthrough. Any area of life.
That's
Those
good.
are your
That's
wrecking
good.
balls.
All right, well, it is Christian fitness. So we did ask the LaCertes, hey, we got to work out a little bit. So we asked them, okay, would you guys join us for our 1 minute workout?
Right, we're doing the 1 minute workout.
We always remind you, you cannot get healthy in 1 minute. Okay, that's not what we're saying. We're saying if you could only have 1 minute. In other words, let's say you're sitting at your office and you haven't gotten out of your chair in 3 hours. Do this 1 minute workout just to get up, get the blood flowing, get things working again. Do it every hour on the hour. Set a reminder on your watch. Do it first thing in the morning. Just do something. And then that morning, maybe early, you get up and do a longer workout, or you intersperse this. You can do this 1 minute workout and then take a 1 minute break and cycle that. Do a one on, one off for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, whatever you want. So anyway, I love to ask this question. What would you do if you only had 1 minute? If I only gave you 1 minute, you don't have an hour, you can't work, calves today and back tomorrow and then arms. You've got 1 minute, that's all you can do, which, by the way, please go watch the program where Micah shared his 1 minute workout.
Yes, please.
It's amazing. It'd take me an hour to do it, but he did it in 60 seconds, which was a marvel of its own. But anyway, so Diana wanted to share with us. She said, okay, if I only had 1 minute, what would I do? So what did you share with us?
So I'm going to go a little bit different than what Micah did, and I'm going to keep it a little simpler. And so the first exercise is a sit squat, but I actually want you to try doing this in a chair, because this makes sure that your weight gets back. And so I think one of the most important things, especially as we age, is to be able to get up and down out of our chairs.
And not use our arms.
Yes, and
Right.
the mobility of being able to do that. And so when we're doing a chair squat or sit squat, whatever you want to call it, a lot of times people have the tendency when your legs are weaker is to go here and try to bring yourself up. But what I want you to try to do is actually to keep your shoulders back and push through your heels and try to stand up without leaning forward as much as you can. So you're working your quads, your hamstrings, your glutes. That's all lower body exercise. And then your second, just two, we're going at flexibility. So here's your inchworm.
Finally, the inchworm is revealed.
So it's just, if you can reach down to the floor, and then you're just walking yourself out. And so keep your core strong, so you're getting a nice core workout here too. You're getting a plank, you're gonna come down, push yourself up, and then walk it back. Now, if you can't quite do that, you could come down onto your knees and you can walk it out this way and do your push-up and then just walk it back up to your knees. So that could be a modification if you're not able to do those fully. So our little
really
one,
important on that, just real quickly before we move on, is as you notice, she did the inchworm as she crawled out. Her back was nice and flat when she got into the push-up. So in other words, she's not inchworming to here and then trying to do a push-up. The inchworm straightens out, all right? He's no longer an inchworm.
Yes.
So get a nice flat back like she had. But I love, so you start off with the lower body. This would be her 1 minute workout. She would do the lower body and then work in the upper body, which you're working almost everything on that. The flexibility, the bending, you can use your knees, like you said, if you need to. But getting some flexibility, you're working the core, you're working your abs, you're working your lower back.
Yep.
Of course, arms and shoulders with the push-ups. So almost a full body
I
workout
mean,
with just
we're
2
getting a
simple
lot.
exercises. So that's fantastic.
Yes.
All right, are you ready? You want to show us?
Okay, I'm going to do 10 of the sit squats,
Okay.
and then we'll do 5 of the inchworms out.
So we'll get our little Christian fitness clock ready.
Okay.
60 seconds.
I'm going to do it.
And there we go.
Okay.
So she's going to do 10 of the sit squats. Like
Yep.
she said, stay back. Don't lean forward. Don't use your arms. Unless you have to. And then
Unless
you
you
can progress
have
to
to.
this, right?
That's right. Yes.
Is anyone counting?
And 10. Okay, and then we'll go to the inchworms. So
Trainers are the
down
worst counters.
and out. Nice tight core. 1.
30 seconds. Plenty of time to do 4 more. I love the flexibility aspect of the inchworm. 15 seconds. Plenty of time.
We got it.
You got this.
Definitely got it.
10 seconds.
One more.
10 seconds to do 1 more, right?
All right. we
that
can do
is-
a couple extras.
Oh.
Love it.
That's a strong inchworm right there. And there you go. That's our Hitch Fit 1-minute workout for today. So that was awesome.
That was
Nailed it.
so
That's
good.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So I love the sit squat. Let's talk about that a little more. You brought up something really important, especially as we like to call it mature
Right.
to age or whatever you want to call it. So many difficulties of people just sitting up and getting down. I mean, that's one of the first tests you want to have someone perform as they're older to see where their strength is. So demonstrate that again. What would a normal person? Let's say somebody that's really struggling comes to you. Let's say I'm advanced in age maybe, and I come to you and I'm really struggling. Look, I need to feel stronger. What would you recommend for this?
Where do you start in that strength?
Exactly.
So I would see how far down they can come. So we have a couple of our clients, they're in their 70s. So they may not be actually coming into a chair that's quite this low.
Right.
So even if you have to start with something that's a little bit higher, if you don't quite have the strength to go all the way down and up, but really it's just seeing what you can do. And like you said, if you have to use support initially, that's okay.
Right.
Like start there, but then progress yourself. And then another way you can progress this too is start holding weights. But this is one of the things that's going to just keep you mobile and keep you active.
Right.
Like if you want to play with the grandkids and, just be able to just keep doing the things that you love. It's such a simple thing. And even if you're just sitting on your couch at night, just practice it. Just get a little strength in there.
Yeah. I think remote controls have basically ruined the health of America. Think about it. We used to get up and check. Well, you guys probably didn't because you're younger than we are. But we used to get up and change the channel, adjust the rabbit ears.
See, I know the fix to this. We just make the controllers 20 pounds.
Dumbbell
And then
controller.
they have to get stronger.
Yeah.
And one's volume and one's the
that's right,
channel.
that's
you
right.
gotta-
We gotta do it.
That's hilarious.
That's fantastic.
Man,
All right,
yeah.
so sit, stand. You want to sit back. Yes, if you need to support yourself, great. You want to progress to the stage that she is at. But yes, if you need to start with some assistance, absolutely do that. Let's talk about the inchworm. I love the flexibility aspect of that. So let's talk about that a little bit more.
Yeah, being able to bend forward and touch your toes, and that's something, again, you can work on that first. Like maybe it's just initially just trying to see if you can touch your toes. And if you can, a lot of times that's because you have really tight hamstrings. So there's stretches that you can do. You can lay on or sit on the floor, just kind of stretch your hamstrings. Actually, even sitting in your chair, just 1 foot out
Right.
and leaning forward. So that's would be, I would say, if you can't quite get there, it could be hamstring tightness, it could be lower back tightness. So those are, again, important things just to be able to stay active and stay mobile. So if you can't quite go there, then maybe you're just working on that flexibility initially.
I like the alignment because if you notice, her alignment is so straight. It is so, you are literally at a position that lengthens the body instead of squishing it all down.
Yes.
So just notice that Diana is standing so straight, and her entire back is straight when she's sitting down, even when she's starting doing the inchworm. Can you show us that again? Because
Think
it's
of the hips.
amazing. when
Think
you-
of the hips as a hinge.
That's
It's a
true.
door hinge.
Yep.
You hinge right at the hips, which she does perfectly. So think of a
Yes.
hinge on a door.
So yes, so that's that. This is if where your hinge is and you're just
Right.
kind of bending straight forward, and then even just practicing that and rounding it back up. So that's a great place to start. And then if you can do that, then it's just coming down and just walking yourself straight out. And then when you come to your plank, just trying to get into that straight body position too. Keep your core nice and tight. And then you can do your push-up here, and walk it back.
What I like is she's doing it basically almost in a slow motion. So she's getting that plank as an isometric, holding that, strengthening the core, and then doing the push-up to strengthen the upper body. But yeah, this isn't a speed. Even though we said, hey, it's only 60 seconds, you have to hurry through it. She's trying to get the last 10 in real quickly. It is a slow, really slow, controlled motion. So you're not, it's less chance of injury.
Yes.
There's no weights involved unless you wanted to grab some dumbbells for the seated, but no weights involved. It's all body weight exercises, and you're working everything from lower body, upper body to flexibility as well. So
Somebody
fantastic.
wants to start doing this because they're watching you and going, I want to do that. How do you teach them to be able to do the inchworm? Because I think that's important. Where do they start? If they've never done it, how do they start that and build into it?
Yeah, I mean, and I would even say like a progression of it. If you can get down onto your knees, it would just be, I would say start here first.
Okay.
And just see, it's literally just kind of walking your
good.
hands out. But think of what's happening at your hips here too. You're coming down, and even if you're here, see, I can still keep my body in a straight line
Yeah,
from
right.
my
Here,
knee
how flat
to
the
my
back is,
shoulders. And so I'm still getting some core work even here. So I would say, and that's really all you have to do is just practice that little walk out until your body is straight, and then you're walking it back up.
That's good. That really shows everybody can do this. So, and you start somewhere, but I think that's really good because now you're showing them how can they do it, and then how often do they do this? If they're just beginning and you're just training someone, how often can they do something like this? Let's say a week or whatever, how they start so that they can get to that point of where you were. How often can they do that while they're training?
If someone is going from ground zero and isn't exercising at all, I usually say start trying to get to 2 days of the week, and then progress yourself ideally to 3 days of the week, but trying to take a day off in between so that your muscles have time to recover. And I think it's important to just listen to your body too. If you're feeling really sore, it's okay to give yourself a little bit more recovery time. Make sure you're getting really good sleep, really good hydration, because those things are going to help you with recovery too.
And if you have a partner or someone in the house or a mirror close by, especially if you're starting out like this, I would encourage you to ask your partner to check your back and make sure that you're doing the proper form, because this is nice and slow. So make sure that you get the form right before you jump in and try to do the whole thing. So go nice and slowly and have someone say, no, Robert, your back needs to be a little bit lower. Lower your hips, tuck your hips, or use your hips more as the hinge instead of bending at the shoulders. Have somebody help you. A workout buddy is amazing, or a mirror can help as well. Hey, thank you so much for joining us. We always pray for you as viewers, and we use the scripture in 3 John 1:2, and that is, beloved, I pray that in all respects you may prosper and be in good health, just as your soul prospers. Thank you so much for joining us. God bless you guys.
Have a great week.
Thank you so much.